Now, the African Transformation Movement is one of the organizations that has asked the Department of Home Affairs to probe Chidimma's citizenship. Party spokesperson Zama Ntshona joins us now for more. Zama, good to have you, and thank you very much for coming on this evening. You, of course, wrote a letter to the Department of Home Affairs with some key questions that you would have wanted answered. Does this statement now by the department serve to answer some of the questions that you have?
Thank you so much. Good evening to you and the viewers. Well, for us as the African Transformation Movement, first we must commend the department for actually responding timeously to our request. Though we would have liked that this issue be put to rest earlier, because truly when you look at what was actually taking place, it was bordering on a state of panic for the country as everybody was hungry for information and clarity. But we must commend the department for the steps taken thus far. And also the fact that there is prima facie evidence, would like the department to swiftly put this issue to rest by probing further and deeper onto the matter. As far as some of the questions that we actually asked to the department or asked the department, yes, especially on the issue of the extended investigation that looks at the issue of the parents at the time they entered the country, how they were naturalized, how they got their citizenship. There is, at least thus far, a reason to believe that this issue is being handled well and addressed properly.
So, of course, then that answers your third question, where the parents, South Africans, at the time of the birth. What difference would that make now with this development of possible fraudulent activity and identity theft?
This issue would remember that the African Transformation Movement, since its inception, sixth administration moving up to now, has always been saying this is a crucial matter, especially when it's going to speak about displacement of those who are rightful beneficiaries, citizenship of people who are native South Africans, who are allegedly now displaced by an individual who is coming from elsewhere around the world. This then becomes an important finding, which also would then push forward the necessity for this country to take the issue of immigration seriously, especially from the perspective of illegal occupation of our country, illegal acquisition of citizenship, because there are people who can't live their lives properly and actually get to experience being a South African fully because of such allegations of dispossession.
But does this then mean, I mean, as now a fully fledged adult of age, and that she could possibly take up citizenship herself, she is now free to participate in whatever activities that she would want to, be it cultural activities like the pageant, and represent South Africa?
For now, as according to the report that we are given, which is in its stage of development, we wouldn't want to fully commit to such. Let us await the full investigation so that we are able to determine other matters that may actually come to the fore as far as the story is concerned. But as far as progress is concerned for now, especially on the issue of the mother, it is welcomed by us as the African Transformation Movement, for it gives a reason enough and a premise on which we can actually probe further to look at the nitty-gritties of this developing story.
But why was it important for you, as a first question, to establish where she was born? Now that we know that it's possible that she was born in South Africa, yes, there could have been a fraudulent scheme that took place, but she was born in South Africa. Does it make a difference to your view on how this matter has been approached?
Well, one of the reasons that actually prompted the ATM to actually to participate in this, when the citizens of this country, which are the ones who actually give us mandate to represent them, saying there is an area we are not comfortable with. Ours, as representatives of the people of this country, instead of spending a whole lot of time in going back and forth between us and the citizens, when there are institutions that are custodians of such information, it is important for us to take the matter further so that the issue can actually be put to rest. So what actually prompted our move, it is in response to the agitation that we started seeing in the country. In fact, it was escalating now. There was a whole lot of speculation, and the only way you can put that issue to rest is if you allow the institutions in question to actually come in and clarify the matter. So the issue of the questioning is actually given birth to by the agitation that was now in the country around this matter. Because the people had spoken, we had to respond.
Now, of course, people are saying that instead of putting the matter to rest, is asking a further question as to why would you want to probe this young African? Why would you want to go to such lengths when you have not done so with any other individual, including prominent politicians?
Thank you so much. Well, people would remember that if you are going to talk about the issue of the borders, one of the parties that have been leading the fight in securing our borders would be the ATM. If South Africans would remember, would also, or if we can just journey back a few months or a few years, you would remember the issues around the ring fencing of the microeconomic space, the issues around placement of the right people in right places. Because when you look at the laws of this country, when it comes to issues of occupancy, of skills that we do not have, being the space that is open, the African Transformation Movement has been at the center of driving such programs. And it wouldn't be now because there is this pageant that we are rising up on this matter. But the most important thing, which as of now, we are discovering from the story, is that this thing of displacement of people, the alleged displacement of natives by those who are our brothers and sisters from elsewhere in the world, it is not just a question of people who are just trying to look for problems, but there is some sense of legitimacy to the claim now, which then means that we need to look further down the line to see how many people could have actually been victims of such, have actually been excluded from participation because of such. So for us as the African Transformation Movement, this is not a targeting exercise. This has been part of a program that we have been running since we entered the space, where we say the South Africans must be prioritized in their own country. We are open for business. Anyone must come in the country, but they must be law-abiding citizens. They must abide by the laws of this country. So this is not targeting at all. This is a program that we are running, and we have been running since inception.
Zama Ntshona, appreciate your time speaking on behalf of the African Transformation Movement there.